Hey, everybody. Welcome to Cooking with Gracie Love. And I have an extra special episode for you guys today. It has been burning me to make fresh bread at home. I've been dying to make it, and I finally got the chance to do it not too long ago. So I want to show you guys how simple and easy it is to make some freshly made bread right at home. So I got my mixer here. If you don't, you can definitely use a little hand mixer, but it's better because the stand mixers have all of the little accessories, the little clip-ons needed to really knead the dough really well. Okay, so in this mixer I'm going to add in some butter, and I'm going to add in about 1/4 cups of butter into there, and I melted a little extra because you're going to need that for the dough when you are getting ready to let it poof and rise up. Okay, and then I have my condensed milk, or evaporated milk, excuse me. I'm going to use some evaporated milk. You want to use about 1/2 cup of evaporated milk, so that should do that. And then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of sugar. Now, I am not going to add as much sugar into my recipe. And the reason for that is because I wanted to make the bread at home, because being diabetic and being around people who have high blood pressure, we want to eat bread, right? But we want to eat bread that doesn't have so much sugar, that doesn't have so much salt. So for me, I'm going to add the sugar, but I'm not going to add as much, like I said, because I'm trying to make bread that is more diabetic friendly and more friendly for people who have high blood pressure. So I'm going to just add a little bit of salt, maybe about 1/2 teaspoon in there. Okay, I'm not adding a lot of sugar at all, but I want to just have it in there because it is a part of the recipe. But I want to cut back on as much of it as possible. That way, like I said, it's more friendlier for us diabetics and for us who have high blood pressure. Okay, now I'm using the Himalayan salt because, again, you don't have to use a lot of that. So I'm still putting that salt in there because we're going to use yeast, and I need that sugar and that salt and all that. So I'm going to still add it, but I'm not going to add that much. And so that's why I'm going to use the pink Himalayan salt, because you don't want to use a lot of that anyway. And that, again, will help me try to reach the goal of using less sugar and less salt in the bread. Okay, so now that I have all of that in there, I have my sugar, I have my salt, I have my butter, I have my evaporated milk. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add my yeast. My yeast has 2.5 tablespoons of yeast inside of it with that warm water, and it's been sitting for about 10 minutes, and you want to let it get all like poofy and foamy like that. If it doesn't get poofy and foamy like that, you probably either had the water too hot or your yeast is no more good. Okay, so I'm going to put that in there. All right, and then with my paddle attachment, I'm going to put it on a medium and just let that all combine together. So I'm going to put my mixer on about 2. And we're going to let that mix on up until it combines. Okay, so now that we have all of that mixed together, we're going to go ahead and switch out our attachment. And I'm going to switch it now to the little dough hook. That's this little fun guy right here. So let's just set him aside. So we'll put this little fun guy on now. Okay. And now that we've got that, we're going to add in our flour. Okay. So we're going to need 6 cups of flour. My measuring cup only holds 4. So I'm going to have to add an additional 2. And you want to just add this in cup by cup, okay? So let's put this down. And we're going to add our flour in as it is turning and on a medium. So like a 4 or 5. And let that mix right on up. And you could do it cup by cup. You could dump it all in. But you just want to make sure that you get it all mixed in there really well. So it doesn't hurt to add it cup by cup. So it's all getting blended. I'm going to turn it up a bit on mine. And just keep adding that flour. Like I said, you're going to need about 6 cups. So I'm going to add 2 more cups in there. And it is going to, if you're using a stand mixer, it does fly all over the place. You can turn it down a bit. Okay, so I got 2 more cups of flour that I'm going to add in here. Woo! Okay. So just let that keep on spinning and turning until that dough isn't sticking to the sides. It's all kind of the flour is all mixed in there nicely, and then we'll take it out and we'll get it ready to start rising. Okay, so now we got the dough all together. It's not sticking to the sides, so we're gonna go ahead and get it all formed into a nice little ball. There we go. So let's just dump it out. And you can see there. Hold up a little piece for you guys. This is what your dough's gonna kind of look like. All right, so we're gonna just press that together into a ball. And it's gonna be stiff, that's okay. And I'm gonna make sure I get all my little pieces out of there. And it's gonna be some flour in the bowl, that's okay, don't worry about that. You just want what's not stuck. Get it all pressed into a nice ball as best that you can. It smells like fresh bread already. All right. So again, just try to get it as molded into a ball as best you can. It's gonna fall apart, that's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. All right, so let's put a little bit of butter. You can use shortening if you have it. I don't have shortening, so I'm just gonna slap some butter on my friend here. And just coat him nicely with the butter. And that's why I said you want to leave some extra butter, melt some extra butter, because you're going to want to coat this as you're letting it proof up. All right. My little friend over there. It sounds all weird. It sounds like a weird science experiment. Okay, then just take that plastic wrap, roll it right over. Okay. Just like that. Okay. And then you want to use a warm towel. Okay. So I just have a simple little face towel. It's clean, all right? And get it as warm as possible. And we're going to put that over our bread, over our dough. And that's going to help it rise. Poof. All right. And just cover it just like that. And we're gonna let that sit for about an hour, okay? And you'll see how poofy it gets when it starts to rise. Right. All right, so our dough has risen so nicely. It is definitely a lot bigger than what we started with. So we are gonna go ahead and unwrap it and then roll it out and then get it all situated. You have enough here to make 2, but I'm gonna roll it out and I'm just gonna put half of it in there. So I'm not gonna make 2 loaves on the show today. So we're gonna flatten it out, and I got a rolling pin, which is so nice. So this dough is very thick. So you just roll it out the best that you can. And it depends on how wide of a surface you're using. I'm using this little cutting board. But if you just use your whole counter, that's fine. Alright. I'm going to flip them. And roll it out a bit more. It's so much easier having a rolling pin. A little slidey on the board, but that's okay. Okay, I like the way that looks. So, there it is, kind of pressed out. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and just cut it in half. Now you can use the whole thing. That's going to be really big in this pan that I have, so that's why I'm going to cut it. It's like a piece. This feels like a bread knife. So I'm going to just cut mine right in half here. And then save that other dough for later. I'll just wrap it back in the plastic wrap that I had it in earlier. All right. Okay. We'll set him off to the side, and then we'll finish with this guy. We'll roll him out a little bit more. It's sliding everywhere. It's so funny. Okay. Alrighty. Now that that is the way that I like it, I'm just gonna fold the ends and the side, okay, and put it in my pan and just kind of shape it and mold it to my pan. Okay. And I'm going to hit it with some of this spray because some of the aluminum foil didn't reach the side. And so we're going to just spray that so it comes right out. You can do it before as well. And that's what you want it to look like. Okay? And then I have my oven preheated to 375. We'll let this bake up for about 20-25 minutes until it's golden brown, and then we'll hit it with some butter, and you'll see how delicious and fantastic this is going to be. All right, it is that time to pull out our freshly baked bread. Grab my mitts. Oh, that smells good. Now this is gonna be really like that French bread you would get. It's still very hot. Let me put my mitts back on. And so this is what it's gonna come out and look like, okay? And we're going to hit it with some butter. Liven him up a bit. And just go ahead and hit with your butter. Oh, that is nice. It's like a biscuit. All right. So got that nicely coated with our butter. So now you hit it with that butter. All right. Okay. Let's dig into this. I'm so excited. And it just lifts right out. Oh, it is steamy. That is steaming. Ooh, yes, baby. Okay. And I like it buttery, so I'm going to put a little bit more butter. Yes. I feel like when they give you the bread at certain restaurants and you just add all that butter on there, and it's just heaven. Oh, that is heaven. It is cooked so good. It's so soft. It's nice and crunchy on the outside, but still so soft and delicious. That is how you make you some homemade bread, baby. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, share, all of that. Make sure you get your copy of Quick Fix Meals on Amazon. And check out the new single featuring Red Vegas, Take Me Away. Because that's what this bread is doing right now. It's taking me away. Until next time, you guys.